The movie begins in the year 1986. We see a mother and daughter playing in the fields, and suddenly they start screaming in fear, because there were many human body parts scattered in the field. It was clear that someone had been killed, and their body was chopped into pieces and thrown there. To show how all of this happened, the story takes us back to one night. There was a report that a meteor shower would occur that night, meaning many small and big meteoroids would fall onto the earth. To witness this, many people gathered at a relaxation point, like a picnic spot, to enjoy the view. Among them was a group of 3 friends going for a picnic. At this point in the movie, we also get insight into how people used to think about meteoroids. Some believed meteoroids brought destruction and disaster whenever they landed, risking human lives. Some religious people even believed that when evil in the world increased beyond a limit, God would send these meteoroids in anger as a punishment to humans. Back to the story, we see Castor's group traveling through the forest. When they are stopped by an old man, none other than old Popeye, he advises them to turn back and warns them about the danger of the meteoroids. But when they ignore him, he walks away, and they continue their journey. Once they reach the picnic site, they find that 2 of their friends have already arrived and set up everything for the picnic. Castor's sister, Olive, goes to check the area and sees 2 boys brutally beating an old man. When she tries to stop them, they turn their dirty eyes on her. But when they see Olive's brother and friends behind her, they flee. They go to help the old man, who is holding a comic book he deeply believes in. He warns them that the meteoroids and this comic will turn people into mutants, a different kind of creature. He begs them to leave before something terrible happens. He says the meteoroids are evil, but the group still doesn't believe him. They give him some money and leave. Later, 2 more of their friends arrive, bringing drugs for the group. They all get high, and soon it's evening. Meanwhile, we see old Popeye fishing, and the meteor shower begins. Popeye becomes excited. One small meteoroid falls into his cigar without him noticing, and he inhales it. This changes everything. Popeye's body starts to mutate, some parts become enlarged, and he turns into a mutant human. As a mutant, all his pain disappears. He comes out of the water, and the same 2 boys who were bullying the old man before appear again. One punches Popeye, but since they were both high, they had no idea what they were dealing with. Popeye gets furious and punches the boy so hard that his face shatters into pieces. He dies instantly. The other boy runs to warn Olive's group, telling them a monster is coming to kill them. But no one takes him seriously, even though he's covered in blood. Meanwhile, one of the group members goes to the restroom. At the same time, Popeye also goes there. He finds the boy, grabs his head, and twists it until it separates from the body. Then, he casually throws the head away and sits on the body like it's nothing. The boy's eyes are shown moving in a scary way before he fully dies. Then we see a couple from the group go into a tent, while the rest lie under the sky, enjoying the meteor shower. They realize their friend hasn't returned from the restroom and get worried. Just then, Popeye reaches the tent, stabs the boy with a bone shard, and kills the girl by twisting her head off. The remaining 4 friends split up to search for the missing person. Olive and her partner find a fallen meteoroid. Meanwhile, Castor and his girlfriend find their friend's headless body and scream in horror. Olive also screams, but for another reason. Her partner was proposing to her, but before she could respond, a meteoroid pierced straight through her partner's head. Shocked and terrified, Olive decides to run back to the camp. Castor and his friend are also returning to the camp, and they all meet on the way. They share their terrifying experiences and realize how foolish they were not to listen to the warnings. They now want to escape, but when they reach the camp, they see Popeye sitting calmly near the tent. They're shocked at how this weak old man has become so powerful. The problem is their car keys are inside the tent, right next to Popeye. Olive decides to risk her life to retrieve them. She sneaks into the tent, sees the 2 dead bodies, but stays silent and focuses on getting the keys. She thinks Popeye hasn't seen her, but she's wrong. He suddenly grabs her legs and pulls her out. Before he can kill her, Castor distracts him, saving Olive. She runs to her friend with the keys, but their car is already destroyed by a meteoroid. Now, they worry about Castor. Olive reveals she and Castor know about a nearby abandoned factory, and maybe he's there. They head that way, and on the way, they find the old man's body, the one who warned them and said the comic was evil. Suddenly, Popeye shows up with Castor. Castor's girlfriend runs to save him, but Popeye smashes her face and kills her. Then, he throws Castor into a chemical tank and dissolves him completely. Not even bones remain. Now, only Olive is left. She runs to the factory and meets a man with a shotgun. She tells him everything. He scolds her, but also reveals that he has created a weapon to fight such threats. We don't see the weapon, but Olive is shocked when she sees it. Then they hear Popeye's voice again. The man goes out in his wheelchair to confront Popeye, but is killed with a bone shard to the head. Olive escapes and tries to fight Popeye, but Popeye overpowers her easily. Before he can kill Olive, the injured boy who warned them earlier shows up and throws the Metroid cigar at Popeye. It doesn't hurt Popeye much, but it angers him. He steps on the boy's face and kills him brutally. The Metroid the boy used falls near Olive. She picks it up, it burns her hands, but she doesn't drop it. She throws it into a chainsaw generator, activating it. This was the weapon the old man had built. Olive bravely takes the chainsaw to fight Popeye. Popeye grabs a hammer, but he's no match for the chainsaw. With one smart move, Olive slices Popeye's body in two. She thinks she's finally free and leaves. But in the morning, we see Popeye's body is missing, which means he's still alive. Olive wakes up and is terrified. She knows how dangerous he is. She starts preparing for a final battle. Weeks pass. Through the news, we learn that Popeye has reached New York, spreading destruction. And now, our superwoman Olive is preparing to finish him once and for all. She builds a mechanical arm to fight him. And the story ends here, with a mystery. Will Olive be able to kill Popeye or not?